back. And thanks so much to our live stream sponsors, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. In studio, we have Chief Deputy Jim Baker of the Christian County Sheriff's Office. How are you today, Chief Deputy?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. Thanks for being back in here with us this month. I'm going to get started with a segment that we just kind of new to us here, the operations and activity throughout Christian County. I'm loving the way we're getting this started here. So what do you have for us in the past 30 days?
So just real quick, we'll go through. I thought it was good last month whenever we started out with some operational updates and basically just kind of give the citizens out there an overview of what we're doing. So in the last 30 days, we've had 2 criminal arrests compared to last month at 4, 3 major traffic arrests, 2 of those being a DUI compared to 5 last month. The department generated 20 incident reports or written reports compared to 35. The deputies attempted 59 paper services with 31 successful. Those numbers are about the same as last month. And we done 54 location patrol checks and responded to 24 vehicle crashes compared to 27. On top of that, we worked the 3-day event at South Fork Dirt Riders. That was good to report that it went off without any police. Couple minor interactions, but for the most part, no arrests were made. Good. No incidents there. I know there was a lot of heat related and alcohol related incidents that the fire department handled. They done a heck of a job. I know they were 10 times more busy than we were. And of course, Morrisonville picnic. And so that's been a pretty busy month, but on the same note, it stayed about average for activity.
Yeah, good on the numbers part right there. I forget about the South Fork Dirt Riders event, and I think about fire and police. It's a big event for you guys, but no bad incidents or injuries to report.
That's correct. Yeah, they stopped ticket sales with Dirt Riders, and I believe it's hard to get a hard number on it, but well over probably 4,500 attendees, and they were actually out of parking spaces, and just unbelievable attendance. And for that many people to be outnumbered probably 75 to 1, or I wouldn't even know how I'd have to do the math on that. Yeah. There was 3 or 4 of us out there at any given time during the peak of the concerts and stuff, and for that to go off with no fights, no arguments when it is a alcohol related event, concerts and stuff like that. But everybody had a great time, no issues. And I do want to commend, like I said, the fire department were more than busy dealing with heat exhaustion and probably not enough water and too much alcohol, but they've done a great job, and I want to commend them for that.
Is that mainly the places that the fire department is most concerned with is water and hydration stuff? They're not breaking up fights and stuff like that.
No. We handle any hands-on thing like that. The only thing we do is point out where they're at, and they would basically either carry them or stretch them out and get them IVs and stuff like that. Like I said, Echo Ambulance Service in Pana also was on standby. I know at one time that ambulance was full of occupants trying to keep up with Saturday night's main event and concert, and they were a lot of heavy heat exhausted alcohol related issues.
I bet. I'm just recently coming from Lollapalooza in Chicago, where it was kind of a similar scene there, and I figure that with big events, South Fork Dirt Riders, got your EMS, they prepare for days like that. So I'm really glad that nothing terrible came out of that day.
And I think since our last radio program, also I want to say that the concert at the county fair for the first time in a long time, and that too went off without a hitch, and outstanding attendance, and raved about how great the attendees, and I look for it to really grow next year.
How great is that? We've kind of made it through our whole summer of county fairs, city festivals without too many crazy things. I know it's
Labor Day to go.
That's great. Christian, or the Pana Popcorn Festival, I was speaking with their chief of police, not an incident there. And it was their biggest event. It turned out to be one of their biggest events of the year. Have you seen that trend this summer of a pretty normal and nice events?
Yeah, I think, post-COVID, everybody's getting out. The attendance records, no matter what it is, are extremely high. And we've had some really good weather. Last year, Dirt Riders, you had the extreme heat, things of that nature. Morrisonville Picnic, I'm sure they had great attendance. I was out Friday night for National Night Out. Taylorville puts on a great national night out for all the attendees. We were fortunate to be invited to that and help out. I know I ran the dunk tank. The last 2 years I was in the dunk tank, and I was more than grateful to be collecting money and not in that dunk tank because, like I said, at the end of the night, I could have used a sweatshirt. It was that cool. So we've had some great weather, great attendance at these events, and thankfully we have had a eventless summer when it comes to police interactions and problems.
That's what you want to hear. And just recently learning about the spike in calls and reports when that temperature does get high, it can be that simple sometimes. So that is really, really all great things to hear. I think it was last morning show we talked about stolen vehicles, Mount Auburn, Decatur. We still keeping an eye on that.
So yes, out of those incidents, we did have one out of those that still stole vehicle, and we're having break-ins at some of the gaming facilities. So if you see something, say something. We're having a lot of issues with break-ins in some of these gaming parlors. So that's a big trend right now. Aside from that, we did have one stolen vehicle that may or may not have been used in one of those crimes. So that stuff is always out there posted on our Crime Stoppers on the app.
Any reports or any conversations this month? Scams, frauds? I know there's been election season. A whole lot of emails are getting sent right now.
Yeah, Bitcoin scams. That was reported this month that somebody fell victim to a Bitcoin scam. But other than that, it's a wave of up and down. And right now, not much to report on that.
I hate to hear just a Bitcoin scam because already I'm confused in that whole universe already. But when
you and I both,
if you're over the age of 40 years old, you're going to be a little bit more confused. And then when you got a person asking for payments in weird ways like gift cards and stuff like that, it's a terrible thing to see. Any message for, because you can be made to feel very alone, very vulnerable when an internet crime is happening like that. Do we just give a call to the sheriff's office?
I think when you question it and it doesn't feel right, or you get that I don't know feeling, I always tell people, we're here, that's our job. I may not have the answer, but I can be that source, that resource to bridge that gap to get you that answer. I've got resources at the Attorney General's office. The Secretary of State has resources. We work hand in hand with the AG's office for a liaison there that handles all kind of fraud. She's going to be up to date on any of them, and it helps us report those. So that would be my advice. If you're in question, reach out and let us work through it together, or your local police department.
Great to have the sheriff's office working with you to fight that problem there, because once again, it feels like it's a sea of the internet right there, and there's not much you can do when funds are involved there. Chief Deputy, in our last minute here of our first segment, a very explosive comments at the Taylorville School Board meeting. Can you describe where the Christian County Sheriff's Office sits right now with that whole situation?
Yeah, so we've had some inquiries come in on that, and I can disclose the fact that it was initially reported to us in the absence of, I believe, Stonington. There's all kind of moving parts there. You got the Taylorville School District, Stonington bus routes, and us. We did initially receive the initial report, and for reasons that basically I can't disclose, as far as reasons that we were not able to handle that, it was passed on to the Illinois State Police.
Okay.
They are in complete charge of any details with that, and I do know it's being worked on from the state police.
Great, thank you. We just want some clarification on that, and we appreciate it. That's Chief Deputy Jim Baker of the Christian County Sheriff's Office. Much more to talk about with him when we come back from our break here on the WTIM Morning Show.
Your information station, WTIM.
Hi, this is Casey Rankin with People's Bank and Trust, and I'm here to share information about our Save by Spending programs, Save by Spending Roundup, where you round up your debit card purchases to the next dollar and put that change in your savings account. Also, our Save by Spending's Rewards program. You can earn cash back on all qualifying signature-based debit card purchases. Call 888-PBT-1954 and learn more about our Save by Spending programs. At People's Bank and Trust, we put you and your savings first. People's Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Summer's still hot. Make the most of it with Southern Ledge Pools and Patios in Taylorville. Come see the new Pelican Reef patio furniture that will elevate your outdoor living with style and comfort. And check out the new green grills that are perfect for those mouth-watering barbecues. For a limited time, enjoy 10% off all syrups and spices that will add a delicious kick to your summer meals. Come by and let us help you make the most of this season. Shop in-store and online. Southern Ledge Pools and Patios, 306 East Main Cross in Taylorville. Your outdoor fun creator.
Shop local first.
Think about what a huge impact local shopping has on our local economy when our money stays at home versus shopping via the internet or with the big box stores. Your dollars get turned over several times, benefiting our communities. The Miller Media Group and these local businesses encourage you to shop local first. Davis Family McDonald's, located in Taylorville, Pana, Shelbyville. I'm loving it. These local businesses and the Miller Media Group ask you to shop local first.
Shop local first. All across the area, shop here first.
Seeing is believing, and your new customers can now hear and see your message. Deliver your message on our 6 Miller Media Group radio stations. And now, potential customers will see your message on our new 36 by 72-inch two-sided electronic sign installed in front of our Taylorville studios on Illinois Route 29. You have the opportunity of having your message seen by over 11,200 drivers a day. Contact your Miller Media Group account manager today and deliver your message through your potential customers' ears and eyes.
Just Beds are the yawn exterminators, and they can give you a better night's sleep. Choose from Bemco, Chatham & Wells, Sealy, Simmons, and Tempur-Pedic. Find out the many models and styles available on their updated website by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
This is Dr. Bill Byers, and I'm excited to announce the expansion of my Stealth Wellness business. Not only do I do functional medicine testing, blood work, and nutrition, but I've added red light therapy and sauna therapy to benefit those of Central Illinois. To learn more, click on my banner ad at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome back into the WTIM morning show, this time with Chief Deputy Jim Baker of the Christian County Sheriff's Office. Thanks so much to our live stream sponsors, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. That first half, we got an operations update. Now this half, we're going to dive into, as the incoming school year's already started here, we're going to see student drivers back on the road. What's the message for the people out there?
I just want to remind everybody, a couple times a year, I attend driver's ed throughout the county, whether that's Kincaid, Morrisonville, just to give a presentation and talk to them briefly about some of that. And, in that conversation, I ask them, hey, how's the driving going? What gives you anxiety? How does it feel? I want to remind people that everybody that's driving on the road went through what they're going through. Give them some space, give them some patience. I had somebody tell me that when they get in their rearview mirror, they've got that yellow placard and somebody being on their tailgating them. That's all they can think about is, what can I do to get out of the way? And when's the teacher going to let me to turn left or right? Give them some space. Let them figure it out. They are going to be out there on the road where there's never a hurry that even 4 blocks of behind a student, you're going to get to your destination. Give them some room.
Right. A new driver, we've all been there, like Chief Deputy is saying right there. You start to feel self-conscious when there's someone behind you. No worries there. And we got to let all the other veteran drivers out there take some time for our student drivers. Kind of leads us perfectly into, with the start of the school year, bus stops and stopping when that arm is out.
Keep in mind, like I said, the fines and penalties are heavy. You're going to have student drivers on the road. You're going to have kids running across the streets. School buses, when those vehicles come to a slow stop, keep in mind, the last thing you want to do is get caught up in, well, was the arm out? Was it not? If they're coming to a stop, they're pulling over, anticipate those kids coming out on that school bus and anticipate that sign coming out, because it is a suspension of your license and a pretty hefty fine if you pass a school bus with that arm out.
Absolutely. So, and when school buses are heading towards railroads, they stop. They come to a
complete stop. They're going to come to stop and open. That's going to bring me into my next conversation. I've got information from Norfolk and Southern for all the people that are aggravated about your locally used railroad crossing. The Norfolk and Southern is repairing rail sorry, tongue twister, rails for rail movement from Willie's Co-op all the way down to Harville, all the way through the county. So all of those crossings are going to be affected, and I'm told that that's going to take 5 to 6 weeks to complete. So it's not just your normally traveled commuting rail crossing. It's throughout the county, and they have to do that in order to continue on with rail service.
We've been hearing a lot of conversation, and I'm sure the reports have been filing in over at the sheriff's office.
But I assure you, it's like anything. Everybody wants the roads and the repairs done. It's just you don't want it when it's inconvenient for you. So just be mindful of it. It's happening. I cannot, as much as I'd like to report that on the app, hey, we've put something out there generalizing that it's going to be, rail repair. I can't provide enough information. Hey, this crossing's closed. Now it's open. This one's, because they're going to intermittently open and close all of them.
I see. Okay. So, well, it's good to know out there for the people. And you said about 5 to 6 weeks?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm being told 5 to 6 weeks, and that was about a week ago.
Perfect.
So
alrighty. Once again, Chief Deputy Jim Baker of the Christian County Sheriff's Office in studio, revisiting our last conversation just about fraud and scams and how those are very prevalent right now. The Christian County Sheriff's Office is definitely here to help you, and especially with some new legislation in reporting sex crimes and even throughout different counties. Where do we stand with that?
Yeah, so it's not, and I didn't want to mislead you there. It's not really something real new. It's been within the last couple years that they changed the way we used to do things. It used to be if you fell victim to a sexual assault, and let's say it was in Champaign while you was at a concert, you used to come home, the victim would emotionally deal with the incident and then walk in and say, you know what, I want to report this. Well, in the past, it's all about jurisdiction. If you have a break-in, we get the jurisdiction that agency needs to and wants to handle that. We used to basically kick that back to the agency where it took place. This legislation now, every police department in the state of Illinois is required by law that if you fall victim to a sexual assault, no matter when it was, you can walk into your local police department, report it. They are obligated to take as much detailed information as they can. Then they will report it to the responding agency for them to follow up on. But we want people to know everything from crisis hotlines are out there. I'll be more than glad. The app, you can put something anonymously. I can help you through that, bridge that gap, get you there without any, if you're wanting discreet. We want to help those victims.
It's great to know.
I just want them to know that there's resources out there, and anybody can take your complaint and get it to the right jurisdiction.
Some great common sense legislation there, and knowing that even if you are local, if something happened far away, you're still going to have people fighting for you there. Chief Deputy, in our last minute, can we work in some topics here on the Christian County Sheriff's app?
Sure.
Awesome.
Yep. So you've got it there in front of you.
Yeah,
if you can see it there, through donations and the app, like I will say, the app was acquired at no taxpayer dollars, and now the distribution of this app, it's ran its course on social media, and every mailing residence, every residence that receives mail is soon to get a card that's going to help them download and explain the app, and the hope is to increase the use of the app for public safety, help tips, road closures, hazardous weather, anything that you would need to be in the know of right now. But we've worked hard on that for about the last 6 months, and it's getting ready to be pushed out to the system called Every Door Direct through the Postal Service. It took quite a while to get the funding and donations and stuff to take care of it at no taxpayer dollars to help promote this app. Hopefully my goal is everybody in the counties, if you're listening and you don't have it, you can go to the App Store, type in Christian County Sheriff IL. You'll get the app, and you'll get notifications of what's going on and what you need to know about in the county to keep you safe.
Only good things to say about the Christian County Sheriff's apps. Helped me out a couple of times with severe weather and road closures and stuff like that. So Chief Deputy, thank you so much for taking the time with us today.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Chief Deputy Jim Baker of the Christian County Sheriff's Office on this edition of the WTIM Morning Show.
Hurricane Ernesto is heading in the direction of Bermuda.